Hi there. I'm just off to the local shop this morning. I took the SAAB out of the garage. Finally, it's been raining for the last several days. It's been sitting in the garage. So this morning, just a short drive to the local shop and back. We might do another longer drive later. But for now, just enjoy the sights and sound of the old 9000 turbo. It's about 8:45 in the morning, I think. The garage door is a bit funny. I had to take the garage door off when the gyprock ceiling fell off last year, or detached itself from the wooden structure because of the moisture. And to put in new gyprock, we had to take the doors off. These are roller doors, and once you take roller doors off, even if one side is a little bit more unwound than the other side, the doors will never close the same. And so these ones having a few problems with closing now because they are rolling on the guides, left and right guides, unevenly. So that's why I had to Alright, off we go. Just a short drive. It's been a really miserable weather the last few days. Windy, wet. So the SAAB was sitting at home in the garage. I think next time I'm gonna mount the camera here somewhere on the dash so you can see the road rather than be looking at me. I think you've seen me enough. Or I'm gonna put the camera here somewhere so you can see the instruments. And the road through the windscreen. That might be an idea. I have a tripod for the camera because I use the camera as my phone for my other YouTube channels. Old R33 Skyline. Don't see them very often anymore. So here we are. That's the drive. That's the car park now. There's Hungry Jack's, KFC, Subway. Pharmacy. And of course Liquorland. Alright. Two minutes and I won't be long. Alright, it's recording. Yeah, here we are again. Quick trip to the shop, and I thought instead of just going home straight away, why don't we go for a quick drive around? Should we go and have a quick drive around the block? Why not? We'll go this way. The morning traffic is all gone now. Daily I drive a little Fiesta 1.6 and It only weighs about just over 1,000 kilos, I think. It's got 110 horses. It's plenty for daily driving around town. So, you know, nice little shopping trolley. And when I drive this, because it's a heavier car, you know, this weighs what, just under 1,400 kilos, so we got nearly 400 kilos more. I can tell the difference between the little Fiesta, the nimble little Fiesta, lightweight, you know, it handles like its own rails, to this. The front suspension on this is really stiff. You can't really push it down with your hands. The rear suspension is light, soft. But the front, you can tell by the way that the camera is, you know, because when I'm going over the bumps, these roads are terrible here anyway. You can tell that it's got hard suspension. The front is all turbo subs do. The Aero, which is the later model of the CS, the later 9000 Aero, their suspension is not necessarily stiffer, but slightly lower from memory, I think. The 900 Classic Aero, which is, you know, from 83, 4 to 91, I think, something like that. That has already, that's got even stiffer suspension than this, and it's slightly lower. Just gonna go around the block. I don't know if I've got enough memory on the phone. The phone only has enough, about 25 minutes of memory, and I've already used this morning 9 minutes to record something else. So let's see, we'll just go around. Yeah, so the 900 Classic, and I never had a Aero 900 Classic, but I drove one. I drove the automatic 3-speed and the 5-speed, and I had a turbo 900 Classic 2-door, and the Aero sits a little lower. Perhaps an inch lower than the 900 Classic Turbo, but the wheels were exactly the same, 15-inch, except that it had the Aero wheels, the 3-spoke Aero wheels, not the Super Aeros with the big lip, not the deep dish Super Aeros, but just the flat. And I have to say, the 3-speed was, because it's 3-speed, it really needs to be 4-speed for it to shift gears quicker. The 3-speed was a little slow, especially with the larger turbo, because both the Aero and the 900 Classic Turbo, the non-Aero, had either the T3 Garrett or the Mitsubishi TD04 turbos, which would really start to spool up around about 3,000 RPM. This starts to spool up about 2,500. So it's a slightly smaller turbo, but it still pushes a lot of air pressure. I don't know really how much. I've never tested. It goes way into the red. One day we're just gonna have to connect. I've got a what's it called? Turbo pressure gauge, manual one. We'll connect the tube and run it to the engine, to the intake manifold, and take it for a spin and give it some beans and see what happens. Yeah. I think, I mean, from factory these come out from memory 12 psi, so this is probably running 14, maybe 16 psi. So these come from factory 147 kilowatt, I think, so it's just about 200 horses. Given some of the horses have retired with age, although this car's got new pretty much everything aside from the engine itself, engine parts itself, new fuel injected, fuel injectors, and so on. You would need another, for it to go to the next stage of more power, you will really need another fuel pressure regulator or an adjustable one. This is running at 3.5 bar from memory, I think. That's the factory fuel pressure regulator. And the fuel pump is alright too, but if I go to more than 300 horses, 350 horses, then we need to look at remapping. You would need another ECU system, and it would need another fuel pump or two fuel pumps, adjustable fuel pressure regulator, another few bits and pieces. I think the fuel injectors would be fine, but I mean, for what it is, it's an old car, and you know, I don't really want to stress it out too much. I mean, it's running on what should I say? Yeah, it's good enough. I mean, even 200 horsepower is more than enough. You need more than what you need around town anyway. So that's going to be enough for today. And if I make another big video, or at least half an or 20-minute video or so, I'll upload it soon. I'll see you then. Bye.